What's up? I'm on Rohan, all that good stuff. My day is going pretty good. Hopefully yours is. You can always leave a comment on that if you wish. Never backing down when there's truth. For what it is that you are fighting for. Not if there is a small chance of falsity for what it is you fight for. For how it is that it is the truth for what it is. Not some uneducated decision. As far as what it is that you fight, it is your decision. Never backing down on the right decision. If there is truth within what it is that is your decision. It's never hard and it's never easy. Of course, standing for something right, it is not lemon cheesy. It's never that easy or that hard. Depending on, for you, how far. If it is that you back down, then do you have the right to say you never back down? If it is something that is within truth, something that it can be proved, to never back down for such a thing. It takes real courage to do such a thing. No matter if it is something that another may criticize you for or not. Do you stand for something that has truth upon this spot? Or is it something miseducated and folly? Of course, when it's proven false, that is when you will see your folly. To never back down for such things that are true. No matter if it is something you like to see, as far as what it is when the truth encounters you. Do you back down or do you stand tall? Is it when your folly is seen, is that when you will fall? To never back down for what it is you fight for. As long as it is something right and truth that you fight for. Cannot fail in a circumstance such as this. For falsity, truth, it cannot counter this. False city cannot counter truth. Do you back down from when it is you see the truth? Do you deny it? Even if it is that you have your eye and you can see it, or if you can hear it. Do you back down when it is that in truth you hear it? Or is it something you cannot comprehend? Is it something that, with that, it means that you have to mend? Except the fact, at that point, that you might be wrong. If it is rooted in truth, you cannot be wrong. No matter if one happened to criticize or not. When there is truth, it cannot be disputed upon this spot. For it is the only thing that can be proven. Falsity, what amongst that can be proven? Never back off when it is you fight for truth. And never back off if it is another thinks, but in truth, do not have for what it is that is the truth. No matter if that is something you like or not, it's something that, in your day-to-day life, you deal with it, like it or not. Never back off when it is that you know. Let that resilience show. But if it is something that is your folly, when truth is revealed, you will see your folly. Never back off, for when it is that you know you might have a chance, something maybe love at first glance, maybe something else that you might try to pursue, as long as it is something good. Is there anything wrong with this you to do? But if it is that among certain things you do not have a chance, that is the only time that you need to back up, for at that point you have no chance. So that you may understand what I mean. Like these ones that wish to promote me. I tell them I have no money. In truth, that is what it is. Doesn't matter if you talk to me or not. I cannot do anything amongst this spot. Does not mean I cannot speak my mind. Does not mean that it makes me any less to know for what to do for success at this time. It only means that I'm in the process, showing you how it's done, with the persistence and everything that is required to get it done. And becoming better at for what it is I do amongst my craft. Look back a year ago, compare it to now, you will notice. I've gotten better, or have you taken the time to notice? But never backing down or backing off is the only way to do such things as this. In truth, regardless, I am one that succeeds because I continue to do this. It's already been worth it for what it is I do. Even if you do not watch me, I will still do for what it is I do. Never know. Maybe it's for someone that is after you. Or someone that has not had the chance to view. Almost like Van Gogh in a way. Did you know that he did not become famous until he go away? Some of the greatest artists that will ever exist do not become famous until they no longer exist. For one way or another, every piece that I have done is a piece of art. Pouring out for what it is as inspirations of my heart. What it is that I would wish to see. if it was something that was possible to see. Never backing off, that is a philosophy of me. But when truth is told and no chance is had, when they tell you for there is no chance to be had, like the example of the ones that try to promote for what it is that I have no money to do for what it is they wish to promote. But there's another thing I will applaud them for, though. There's one thing that they do that I do as well. Never back off, for when they think they have a chance just as well. I do applaud you for these things. You show the persistence for success, amongst for what it is you do with your things. If it is you wish to achieve anything, never backing off, that is the only way you achieve anything. If it is that you just stop, you do not achieve anything amongst the time when you stop. That is truth, regardless how you look at it or not. No matter if there's a mountain that stands before you or not. If it is, you just plow straight through. Does that mountain stand before you? No, it cannot, for you have passed it. You have plowed through it, like a bulldozer, going past it. No matter if it stood before you or not. Whatever your obstacle is, never back off. As soon as you do, you admit defeat. But as soon as you don't, there is still hope because of the fact that you don't. If it means that you must push back, with a shield that happens to push back, then that is what it is that you do. Never said which direction you're going, as this shield pushing back you do. Never backing off, is this a mentality of you? Is it a mindset that maybe something new to you? Is there something that you wish to achieve? There's only one way this can be achieved. No matter for what stands in your way, if you do not allow it, it has to go away. Never back down upon that truth. The decisions of your life, it is up to you. You are the one that chooses for what it is you choose to do. Do you not have control of the body that is dedicated to you? You think that you are weak. It is not that you are weak. It is that you do not have a new mindset. So you remain to be as it was you were yesterday. And if you are not getting better upon every day, you are getting worse if you are the same as the previous day. It is not hard to understand for what it means to not back down. It means that you stand your ground. Pushing back, not letting the enemy know that guess what? You choose which direction they go. For when it is they attack you, no matter situation or physical, if you push back and then step forward, guess who took a step forward and who took one back? How can a mountain stand before you when you continue to do that? Never back off for what it is that you know, for what the truth is. The truth of the matter is, you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. Did you know that? All these videos of great deeds and other things. Do you not see the proof in that? All these success stories and other things you see. Let me ask you one simple question to find out for how it is these things you see. When it is that they came up with opposition, did they do this when they seen that opposition? Or did they do this? In case you're listening to this, what I just did was step back with my character on the first part. The second, I stepped forward. So, with every step that you might take, no matter if it is baby step or big one you make, it is better to continue to move forward than be at a point that you no longer move forward. Now, I gotta go to the bathroom for a second, but I'll be back. need to have that, sorry. Sorry about that. Nature calls. I'm sure you know how that is. But where I was. Never back down for what it is you wish to achieve. No matter for whatever it is that you wish to achieve. As for me, I'm achieving it every day that I do this. No matter if one's watch why it is I do this. 'Cause I'm just practicing my craft. Just wait until the very last. By then, how much will it be that I'd be able to convey? In the way that I never back off, as it is that I choose to convey. Will it be far more advanced than what it is today? Will it be something that will make your head spin if it is you try to understand for what it is I say? Is it something that you will? Is it something that you won't? That is a decision up to you if it is you do or if you don't. But I'm sure that you might think, but it's so hard. The one that might be paying your check, did they think it was hard? No, they got after it. Well, I guess that's why their name is on your check and after it. They sought after what it is that you may not. Sorry if that offends you, but you are the one that chooses if it is that way or not. Just as it is for me as well. Of course, I'm already monetized and all that. Just so you know as well. Many things amongst the works. Of course, never backing off when it's time to work. If I'm not doing such things as this, I'm doing something very similar in one way or another to this. At least that is from my own personal experience. But I also know this. Amongst for what it is that is my experience. Never backing off has gotten me a few rewards. Like having someone call me and tell me for what it is that is my reward. Saying as tears run down their face, just to let you know, you have saved my life in this place. Or even encouraging ones that might have watched to do things that now, possibly, you watch. So, never backing off. Has that been rewarding for me? Learning how it is that I convey. Saying it in a way that is different than most. No matter for what it is that you understand more or less. Of course, for your mind exercise, that is how it is that is determined upon what on that and in that you get, but never backing off for what it is that you wish. How many rewards for this have you happened to get? Maybe it's something that has happened because of your actions another will not forget. Or maybe a reaction from one that happens to see. While it is that you are fighting the good fight and trying to be one that is model for what it is that another might wish to be. Never backing off for this, what do you see? For being the best that you could possibly be. What kind of rewards for this do you get to see? Never backing off for what it is you wish to achieve. That much closer for what it is you wish to achieve. Or for if it is that you happen to back down, how many more steps forward do you have to go now because you chose to back down? Never back off for what it is that you believe, that you yourself, no matter if you think you can or not, one thing contributes to if you are successful or not. Do you believe or do you not? Never back off for what you know you can do, for what truth you know can be revealed by you. By what you could contribute to society, that only you are able to contribute to this society. If it is that you do, how many people will never be impacted by you? All because of one thing you chose not to do. No matter if ones celebrate or not, that you are a success, or you believe you are not. Every step forward that you make, you should celebrate, but not too much, for you might miss your next opportunity for your victory if it is you celebrate too much. No matter for what it is that you are trying to do, as long as it is something good, of course, I will say that to you. Why would it be that you would try to do anything other? There is a bittersweet reward if you try to do the other. Many things that ones have thought could not be achieved, just because someone happened to believed, they are now being achieved. No matter if one thinks that you are great or not, you are the one that decides if one thinks that you are great or if you are not. If it is you never try, every single thing you could have accomplished it goes to the grave and it dies. With hard work, you can achieve anything. No matter if another tries to speak that you cannot achieve anything. At that point, very wise to take for what it is that is their comment, and throw it amongst the ground like you do salt a useless comment. Or the only thing left to do amongst for that is trample upon for what it is they tried to speak over you when they said that. It should be something that possibly could push. Oh, you think I cannot accomplish this? What happens if I never back off and push? But only with your concentration and devotion. Can it be that you can achieve anything because of this devotion? But never backing off is the way that it must be, no matter for what you wish to achieve. But as soon as you do, back off, that is, if that is what you choose to do, you show upon the fact that you do not believe for what it is that you said with truth that you believe in that. Did you just catch that last part? If you didn't, I would recommend you to rewind that. For what it is that you declare when you put it into the air. Until it is that you see the opposition. It is, in truth, a reflection of what you have internalized and believe to be true. So, what separates the actions that you do? You can declare it all you wish, but until there is proof seen with this, it is only but what it is that could be a dream, an aspiration, something that you wish to achieve, or something that you think someone should act towards another, or maybe something that you know could help a brother or a sister, no matter for what they may be. With only actions can these things be seen. It is only evidence of things yet to be. For things to happen. What's the first thing you do? Especially if you need to give a pep talk to yourself, you. Think about that for a few minutes. So, what it is that you do such a thing? Do you never back off? and make sure that this is seen? Or is it that you do? No matter using whatever resource or means that you are able to do so, within what it is that is your able and ability to do so. To go beyond is a bit of a risk, but to push forward, is that a risk? Or is it not? Is it that you decide upon where you could be in this spot? The ones that pay your check, they have done so. The ones you go and buy things that you like, they have done as well. Then why do you not follow suit and do it just as well? If it is, maybe you listen to me and think, well, this guy does not know for what it is. I'm showing an example of the consistency. You realize how many videos and streams I do per week? You realize how many videos I will have within the next year? Within the next 2? Within the next 3? I never back off. No matter if they're heard or seen. But as far as for what it is that has been hard, I can tell you this. 46 million in a 1-month period as hard. So, do you call that success or do you not? I have a video to prove that. I've already shown it. And by the way, I wish to mention this. What I'm doing is exactly what they listen to, me doing this. The only difference is, they didn't see for what the character I was playing, or even the game that I happened to be playing. So for ones that might think, oh, this guy has no idea for what success is. 46 million in a single month. I think that's pretty successful if you ask me. Oh, and I want to mention this too. That was only off of 16 of these. One of them had 8 million listens altogether. Anyway, enough about that. Never backing off. Are you gonna do that? By the way, I wish to mention something else about that. I know I said enough, but I will say something else. For what I do, well, what you're listening to right now, I would expect nothing else. Do you not know for what it is I'm doing? Did you not notice the title amongst this stream to announce for what it is I'm doing? Motivational poetry. Right? Do you know what I'm doing on this game is something that you very rarely ever see a streamer or a gamer do? How many motivational speakers do so on a game where they play in front of you? Never backing off. Even if it is that you are a rarity, that just shows a little bit more specialness to you, for you are a rarity. You are one that you choose for what it is the world happens to see, for what it is that you could do, no matter what it may be. But you are the one that happens to decide. If it is you choose to back down, your dream may have died. But if it is that you never back off, then you show the resilience because you choose not to back off. You show the progress amongst for what it is you have achieved, especially if you take and do something to prove upon what it is you have achieved. Something I once heard while I was doing some guitar practicing. If you're listening to my motivational poetry on music distributors, you will notice there's music on it too. Is there not? Do you know who did that? I'll give you about 2 guesses. Believe it or not. So, for maybe what you do is unique. Your niche that makes it to where that you are unique. Cannot be, not be some way selling point. To makes it to where one's get to see it at the starting point. Or maybe for when it is that it grows beyond for what it is you thought it may be. Or when you see the result that you expected to see. Now, this might be odd for me to mention, but I said in my earlier stream there was someone that I met that I did not expect what it was they did. Uniquely enough, one of the ones that I would few expect to be something, well, I'm not going to say for what it is they do, but uniquely they choose to do. Custom made for what it is they do. It's like as it is they do for what it is you see or hear now. Do you know, I have no idea what it is I'm going to say right now. But I know what comes out in a unique way that only comes from me. But also industry standard. By certain aspects are followed by me. For what it is that I do. Now, is this something as it is that you never back off? That you do so as it is you're choosing not to back off? Do you learn for what it is another may have done? Maybe a new twist for something that you could or will have done. What if it is that you back off, for you do not get for what it is you think you should get, so you choose to back off? How many opportunities might it be that you lose? Just because, in your heart, even though there is no evidence of such things, especially if you take and keep a specific record of such things, for when it is that these doubts happen to show, you are able to dispute them and tell them they must go. Something that I learned, I've mentioned it before, I'll say it again. There was, when I was learning guitar, like I was saying before I went off into my little tangent, to take and keep a practice diary. Do you keep a progress diary? You wish to know for what it is that is mine? In fact, you are watching mine, or listening to. 'Cause at some point, I have to listen to these, just like you. To know for if it is certain things I need to back off. Say it a different way, but not to entirely back off. Or if it is that I need to remain the same, and not back off. For when it is, it needs to remain the same. There is a difference between knowing when to and knowing when not to. Pursuing your dream, that is when you do not. When you're getting the opposite effect, that is when it is that you do. But even never backing off, this is information that should be known by you. For that's the only way you could do it correctly. Otherwise, you would not do it correctly. To never back off when it is that your progress may be to where it is you do not see yet. Or for some reason you're getting the opposite effect. But it is finding out why. That is the part that you do not back off. As well as for what it is you pursue when it is you do not back off. Depends on what the resistance is for and against. And for where it is coming when it is coming against. If it is for the opposition, the opposite for what it is that your dream or aspiration is, shows its face as its opposition, then you are going amongst the right way. For ones, like example, ones that would not wish for ones to be successful. If they were to start to attack me, I knew that I would be, and I am being successful. And the direction would be correct. For no opposition. The opposite should I get. Only ones that do not wish for these things to be should be ones that have opposition for me. if it were that I was getting it from the ones that are doing the same, why would it be? That is why it is important to keep this diary. If it is that you do such things as me, that's something, the first thing I would do. I have only had, out of the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views that I have gotten, only one has ever said anything negative. And I actually applauded them too. It's like, you know what? Congratulations. Out of all these thousands of people that have listened to me, you are the first. Thank you. I knew it would eventually come, but you are the one that I have celebrated as my first. And it looks like I need to take an intermission. I'll find out what the heck they want real quick. Well, I'm back from my intermission, all that good stuff. I'll try to make them short so they're not that long or anything like that. So, not backing off, or never backing off. What would it take to be like that? It's fairly easy to be and achieve such things as that. When it is that you have your dream or aspiration, you do not waver, or you do not stop when you see opposition against for what it is you wish to achieve. Digging deep inside to know for what it is that you have internalized, that you yourself have the dream for what it is you wish to achieve. The only thing you have to do is believe, be brave, and pursue. And continue, regardless for what stands before you. No matter if it is that it's dire. You never know, if you continue, maybe you might have a few individuals you will be able to hire. But you also must think higher. For only ones that actually wish to achieve are the ones, in one way or another, regardless if they're celebrated or not, they achieve. When that opposition happens to face you, all you must do is continue to go for the direction that needs to be taken by you. No matter how hard it might get, no matter for what it is you wish to achieve or the accomplishments you wish to get, you may even get a few compliments. You may get a few that try to take you down. Maybe you should get to 9 to 5 and just put that down. But here's the thing about the ones that might say such things as this. In truth, should you heed for what they say with this? The truth of the matter. For what it is, they backed down, or backed off. That is the truth of the matter. They are not ones that have achieved. Ask anyone that has, in some way or another, achieved. What will it be that they will tell you? These are the only ones you should listen to for what it is they tell you. These that say such things as, get a 9 to 5. Find out if they have achieved anything. For someone that has not, do you heed for what their words are said in that spot? Or do you put for what it is they say on the ground and step upon what it is they happen to say? No one that has ever achieved anything will ever tell you to do such things as that. Just take a few moments and think of that. No matter for what story you wish to look, this is the truth of the matter. No falsities about this when you look. They are only ones that do not wish to achieve. They seen the mountain and they happen to flee. They seen the opposition. They did not have the proper mindset to pursue after. They do not have any words that mean anything that they say after. They are ones that have let their dreams die. So why would it be that you would listen to one that has done such things to their dream and watch yours die? Never backing off. That is the way to be. If it is that your dream and truth you wish to achieve. Anything different than that, you will not achieve for what you wish to achieve. Whatever it is, that is that. Bottom line, no Pasco, no collect $200. And I will also say this. Is your dream big enough that ones you tell, are they baffled by this? Whatever it may be. If they're not, a dream may be a little too small for it to be. For if it is in truth you wish to achieve, you must do something that was done by Bruce Lee. You do not aim for the target itself. You have to aim past for what is the target itself. That way, not only do you hit the target, but you go past for what is the target. Thinking your efforts have fallen short? Maybe you need to aim a little higher. That way they will not fall short. It is better to aim for the stars and fall amongst the sky than aim low and never even get close to the sky you go. Never back off. For what you aim for, you must go. Not getting enough for what it is that is your result. Very easy to fix for what it is you think you should see with your result. Aim a little higher. That way it goes a little farther because of the fact you aimed higher. But how else is it that you can achieve these things? Do you sit idly by and ponder such things? Or do you put actions amongst for what it is that needs to be done? Or do you choose to waste your time and have your needless fun? The easiest life comes from the hardest path. The hardest life comes from the easiest path. Doesn't matter if it is that you get there fast. Doesn't matter how long it may be. As long as you have some kind of guide for what it is you wish to be, in comparison to for what real result you should see. Like, for example, generally speaking, for most channels, it takes a few years before anything really happens. As far as for what it is. But of course, cutting through the noise of that, it is what it is. You have resource and other things such as this. It becomes slightly easy as far as this. But also, but here's the question. How much, how good is their content? Is it something that's easily beat? Is it something that, with effort, one can easily beat? It be more entertaining for what it is they wish to see? Because many that might have more followers than me, and have more views than what it is that is gotten by me. Do they have content that has anything that has such things on me? Not saying that I'm the cream of the crop or anything, but here's the difference. What happens if that is no longer an issue for why you see the difference? Hmm? What happens then? There are some that pour their entire life savings into such things, but their content does not equal for what it is that they have done with these such things. There are some that are some of the greatest amongst us. that have hardly got any views amongst us. Not only me, I'm sure there's others. Not saying I'm one of the best, but I know that I am unique enough to separate myself from the rest. Enough to where it is when you hear for what I do, there will be no question for who you are listening to and who has happened to do. Just like unique bands and other such ones that do pieces of art. Uniquely, you know, for it is their piece of art. Now, it also depends upon the niche-oriented such things, as well as other types of things. But it is a curious question. Many that get multiple thousands of views, compared to some that do not get the same amount of views. Is their content any better than the one that does not get the views? Or is it just average compared to? There are many, I'm sure of it, that have great content but never get to be seen right away. And then when they do, most are like, well, what rock did you hide under upon these days? Some of the greatest bands that have ever existed, you don't even know they have existed. Some of the greatest writers that will ever walk this earth, you did not even know that they happened to have walked this earth. Some of the greatest of whatever you may think, or whatever field. Just take a few seconds to think. You will never know that they were there. Because either one, they never wanted you to know they were there, or they didn't even take the time to care. Some of the greatest singers that you could ever hear are voices that you will never get to hear. Some of the greatest guitar players that have ever walked this earth, you will not even know that they were upon this earth. Some of the greatest drummers, you will never hear their beat. Some of the greatest inventors, you will never see for what it is that they had to show. All because when it came time to never back down, they sadly said no. That looks like all the time that I have for now. So, until next time.